Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me and watching this thing that I'm doing. I appreciate your support so much. And my name is Chris Orozco, and I want to welcome you and thank you for being here. So today I'm going to be talking to you about repression, the impacts of repression on ourselves as individuals and on ourselves as a society and as a culture, and what we can do about it. So repression, as defined by me, is the holding down of an emotion, thought, or idea. That's on the micro scale. And on the macro scale, it's holding down of a people. And if you look at your inside world as a reflection of your outside world, if you hold down any part of yourself, it's going to have the same effects as holding down a group of people. What I've learned about repression is that any part of ourselves that we hold down, that we do not allow the freedom of expression, that we do not allow love, compassion, and nurturance, any part of ourselves that we deny those things to, they get pissed and they turn on us, and they have to speak in some language that we'll understand. And it's not always anger. Oftentimes it is. It's been, in my personal experience, it's been anger, but I know it shows up in anxiety. It shows up in depression and lethargy. And all of these experiences that we don't want to have, all these things that you can see in the world around you, are caused by repression. And now the one we see in the world right now is anger, with all these riots in Baltimore. This is what happens when there's a group of people that is so pissed off, and they're constantly told no. They're constantly being held down. They're constantly not given a voice. The only thing they can do is break out, freak out, and destroy things. Now, I do not mean to say that that is what everybody's doing. I know there are some beautiful souls out there peacefully protesting. However, with a city on fire and a state of emergency enacted, I felt it necessary to talk about this element of it and what happens when you repress a people. And when you repress a part of yourself, the same thing happens. If you've got a part of yourself that you won't listen to, and it's angry, and it's got something to say, and you keep pushing it down, it's going to fight harder and harder and harder to get your attention until you finally listen, until you finally give it its say. And so that's the impacts of us on us culturally and individually. I know for myself that having repressed anger was one of the hardest experiences I've ever had, and it caused me to wake up and finally begin to care for myself and begin to see the impact that my emotions and my relationship to myself had on the world around me. Because everything I see around me is a representation of what's going on inside of me, and the same goes for you. And so I encourage you to take a look at any part of yourself that you're repressing, that you're holding down, that you're not giving a voice, and to take personal responsibility for that, to love it, to nurture it, to care for it, to allow it to become the healthiest, happiest version of itself, so that you gain the ability to be a safe space for yourself, for every part of yourself, as well as every other person that you see around you, so that we can end this madness and we can finally find peace. It starts with you, it starts with me, and it starts right now. And I want to thank you for even staying with this video long enough to hear this message all the way through. I believe in you, I love you, I'm grateful for you, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to share this message with me. If you want to talk more about this, I'm going to post a link to where you can reach me at the bottom, right below this thing. And again, I want to thank you. I'm Chris Orozco, and I'll see you next time.